This just coming to us right now, breaking right now, we have learned that Nathan Wade indeed had some conversations with the Biden Harris White House. Even though everybody was trying to say, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory to suggest for any reason that the Biden administration would actually have anything to do with any of these people like Letitia James or Alvin Bragg or maybe Fani Willis and her prosecutor, also boyfriend, Nathan Wade. Remember Fani? Let's just take a little walk down memory lane for those of you that have forgotten.
Are you aware that Fulton County requires you to disclose any relationship with someone that you're doing business with?
I'm not aware, and I know often that things are confused with state constitutional officers in county, but I'm not aware.
Nah, she wasn't aware. She wasn't aware that she wasn't able to have that little thing with her Trump prosecutor, one Nathan Wade, even though she seemed to make a big deal out of how you shouldn't be paying people that you have relationships with, that would kind of be a violation of one's duty. I mean, she did tell us that while she was campaigning, did she not?
You say, Miss Willis, Judge Willis, what law did he violate? A few, but let's try this on for size. OCGA 45-11-5, extortion, subsection A. As used in this code section, the term extortion means an unlawful taking by a public law officer under color of his office from any person of any money or thing of value that is not due to him or more that is due to him. Any public officer shall be by himself, his deputy, or his agent, or other person employed by him be guilty of extortion in receiving other and greater fees than by law are allowed him, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, and repeat this part for me, and shall be dismissed from office. Not maybe, shall be dismissed from office.
Except for her, of course. Because rules don't apply to Fani Willis and Nathan Wade until, what do you know, it seems the law's catching up with them.
Because they deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees. Because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children. Because we deserve better.
We do. I mean, she did ask her church to pray for her. And she certainly didn't want to uphold the investigation, nor did Nathan. I mean, he said he did nothing wrong.
And you don't think that your actions played any role in that?
I don't. I think that the goal was to have this dog and pony puppet show, base it on things that were not relevant to the indictment. I think it's an interesting trial strategy to attempt to defend your client by attacking the prosecutors involved.
I mean, unless what the prosecutors were doing was somewhat illegal, because you weren't supposed to be paying off your friends and, paying off those that you were having a relationship with. But here's the real meat of the story. Ladies and gentlemen, what really is bizarre about this is that we have just learned Nathan Wade has just admitted, thank you very much, to multiple meetings there at the White House. Remember, this got asked about a year ago. Everybody's like, oh, you're crazy for thinking that there would be any such thing. How dare you ask these things? Matt Gaetz, about a year ago, asking none other than the head of the DOJ. He's putting Garland on the spot here. Merrick Garland, was there any hanky-panky... Funny choice of words, I get it, given Nathan and Fani. But anyway, was there anything going on? Were you guys having any conversations with any of these other field offices, I'm saying, there's a church and state kind of separation thing. So you shouldn't be. They asked if it was going down. And well, Garland got a little mad at Matt Gaetz around that time. Let's play the clip.
Communicating with these state and local prosecutions against Trump, you can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fani Willis' office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own decisions.
The question is whether you communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
You make a request. We'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing. You come in here and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's...
Yeah. But it took a while, okay? It took quite a while. So now finally, they've got the documents, they've got the correspondence. I'm looking through the transcript here, and this is not a good look for the Harris-Biden administration, because you see, they're asking in this transcript that just came out this week all about, whether or not Nathan Wade was meeting with the administrative staff from the Biden-Harris White House. And we know, according to these transcripts, it happened at least twice. At least twice during District Attorney Fani Willis's probe into the former President of the United States, one Donald Trump. So he was interviewed, you see, by the House Judiciary Committee, and this interview has now leaked out. The transcription of it has leaked out, and basically what has come about is that there were apparently some in-person or remote meetings. And we know this because there's invoices and other records that indicated these things happened. In other words, Fani had to pay the bills, right? She had to pay her boyfriend $600,000 or so for his services on that case. And he was writing down what he did on that case. And at one point, you see the transcript showing that there was an invoice line indicating, quote, travel to Athens, semicolon, conference with White House counsel, May 23rd, 2022. And so the investigator said, hey, hang on. And I quote, so if it says conference with White House counsel, that would mean there was a conference with White House counsel. Wade responded that the semicolon written after travel to Athens represented a separate thought, to which the investigator then turned around and said, so if you billed for a conference with White House counsel, would that have occurred? And he's going on and around and around. So they keep pressing him. And finally, he says, yes, that would have occurred. Okay, I mean, Wade later said that he could not recall the details around another item that was recorded, and I quote, interview with D.C. White House, November 18th, 2022, 8 hours at $250, cost $2,000. So the irony of all this is he's shuttling over to the White House, perhaps going to the White House. Remember, there was no. He just went to some little Kamala Harris party. Like, everybody was invited. No big deal. It was a political thing. Somehow he's getting to the White House or Zooming with the White House. And he's charging the Georgia taxpayers for it. All while, of course, getting paid by his girlfriend, who's running the whole shebang. I mean, this is just unbelievable, okay? Unbelievable. You put this together with Letitia James, who's about to get her case totally reversed, talking about egg on your face. That's what Letitia's going to have any day now. You put it together with Alvin Bragg and some of the Jack Smith stuff, which even the Supreme Court's like, hey, you're way out over your skis. And you start seeing a situation that really is, ladies and gentlemen, a scary amount of lawfare. But those on the right are not allowed to say that. That's somehow a conspiracy theory to even suggest that. And Donald Trump's like, I've had it. Like, I've completely had it. This is what he told Howie on Sunday over at Fox.
I think they're unethical, but who knows?
I want to drill down on this question of retribution because against your political opponents, because you've had opportunities to walk that back. And my question is this: are you prepared to say now that you will not use law enforcement to punish or prosecute your political opponents?
Excuse me. That's what they're using on me.
Okay, so your stance is that they started
before you start this.
Yeah, I got it.
Howie, that's what they're using on me. I've got DAs. I've got everybody. They look at me. There's never been anything like this. The biggest case was the one down in Florida, and I beat it 100%. I won the case because we had number one, a brilliant judge, and a judge that moved rather rapidly, and I won the case. By the way, Biden had almost the same case, but he didn't have the Presidential Records Act because he wasn't the president. Just to finish. And he got off on the basis that he's incompetent, essentially that he's incompetent. And it was a strange ruling because they said, number one, he's incompetent, so he's not going to be, but the prosecutor actually said he's guilty, but he's incompetent. But they didn't say he couldn't be president anymore. That was his bigger problem for not being president. How can you not represent yourself in court because you're incompetent, but you're allowed to represent the United States of America? The whole thing is crazy. But no, they have weaponized government against me.
But are you willing to use the same tactics?
No, I don't want to do that because that's a bad thing for the country. I don't want to do that. I don't know who said. I haven't said that I would, but they have done it. I've got attorney generals, DAs. They're all. Right. You take a look in Atlanta.
You're heavily investigated.
Fani. Yeah. They went and met with them. It's all coming out of the Justice Department. They have done something never done in this country before. Now, it's been done in a lot of other countries, third world countries, banana republics, but never done. So when you ask that question, you really have to start by saying, well, they've done it to you. No, I'm not looking to do it to them at all, because that is they have set a very bad precedent, however.
You talk about the enemy.
Yeah. He's right. I mean, that's very interesting. He's not willing to do it to them in the same way that they have done it to him. And you know what, guys? I'm going to tell you something. I know him. I've known him. I was just saying to someone the other night, I'm like, I've known him for 20 years. I think the first time I met him was actually back in 2004 or so, around the time that his Atlantic City casino was going under. And I did a story on the CBS Evening News, actually, about it. It was the first time I met him. And I've known him a long time. He has said to me that he deliberately did not go and seek retribution on Hillary Clinton. He didn't go after her in the lock her up way because he didn't think it was the right thing to do as a country, that we're not Latin America. And yet, what did they do to him? I mean, come on, right? And they want to do it some more. Kamala admitted it. She admitted, I'm going to lock him up. The courts will lock it. The courts will take care of that. Let me be precise with the language. Actually, let's just play the clip.
Because some people find it humorous what he says and think it's just silly, but understand how brutally serious it is. Well, the courts will take care of that. We'll take care of November. Yes.
You got it?
We'll take care of November. But it is brutal.
What do you mean we'll take care of November? Okay? Like the courts will take it. There's somebody shouting, lock him up. And she's saying the courts will take care of November?
Really serious, because to the Congresswoman's point,
I mean, what is that? I mean, what do you mean you're going to take care of November? He's leading big time in the polls. That freaks them out. He actually probably would not come forward with the retribution that they've put on him. That's the irony of all of this. One person actually cares about the country. I don't think they do. I don't think they do. And by the way, no matter who wins, I suspect gold prices are going to keep going up. That's my hunch. I'm not your financial advisor, although we do have a lot of good ideas over at 76 Research. Do take a look, if you would, at gold. The expectation is the money printing is going to keep on happening, and you're going to have a lot of countries that are continuing. I mean, look what Russia's doing right now, right? That they're a big shindig and they're inviting everybody, and U.S. dollars are not going to work. So they're moving towards this sort of other world currency. It's happening in real time. It's one of the reasons why gold keeps moving higher. You couple that together with all the money printing, et cetera, and you get a scenario where gold could actually, according to Reuters analysts, you don't even have to take my word on it, the survey is it's going to hit 3,000 sometime within the next 12 months. I think it could actually happen even sooner. It's one of the reasons I do like looking at gold as a long-term investment. You can actually get up to $15,000 as a friend of the show if you use my name. A little name dropping doesn't hurt. Just text Trish to 65532. This is American Hartford Gold. They have up to $15,000 in free silver. Silver's been on a tear, by the way. Call 1-844-495-1115 for more information. 1-844-495-1115 for more information.